I haven't listened.
I know I'm hungover, but have you got any beers?
No, I haven't. Warming up your voice.
Gin?
Top of the... Yeah. Top... What is it?
Top of the morning to you.
No.
Move.
Top of the tongue and the teeth and the lips. What is it?
I don't fucking know. What are you on about?
Hello and welcome to Big Gruesome Music Talk. Yay! I did the response there. It was good. Yes.
Yeah.
Music and such.
Ow.
This is our fortnightly music show where we talk about the music that we've been listening to and that we love and like. Last time around we were in Liverpool having some fun up there. It was fun, wasn't it?
It was super fun.
Yeah.
Jolly good.
Yeah.
It was jolly.
That was about the... I mean, when we filmed Music Talk, that was about... Like, the first 5 minutes of that was about the only point I wasn't drunk or hungover. The whole time we were there.
Great. Really good. We're
Did,
very
like,
professional.
Professional, yeah. The journey up where you guys were like, no, we'll go out for one drink, we'll be very smart.
Very drink.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
But luckily, being hungover in the studio apparently works really well.
Yeah,
Well, so we think.
So we think.
yeah, it did sound proper peng
Yeah,
at the
it
time,
did.
didn't it?
Proper peng.
Proper peng.
Yeah.
We did a gig at Sub 89, that was wicked.
Did a gig, didn't we?
Yeah, with Viridian.
Yeah, that was wicked.
Yeah, thanks for having us, boys. Alright, so let's get down to business. We pick our bands every week. First, Ben, have you picked something good this week?
I picked...
He has picked an album.
I've picked something that's sort of rock this time. It's a bit weird because I've kind of picked a film. So my pick this week is the Jaco Pastorius film soundtrack
Called
Jaco. A few weekends ago I went to the London-based guitar show. They had a premiere for the new film that's been made by Rob Trujillo from Metallica about Jaco Pastorius. I'd heard of Jaco Pastorius and Weather Report and Joni Mitchell before watching the film, but I was absolutely blown away by the
It's
film.
so amazing.
Even though his music was made in basically the 70s and the 80s, there is a film soundtrack that has just
Which is
come
new.
out, which is new, so I can get away with it. Musical genius. The film kind of talks about his musical upbringing, and there's so many awesome guest appearances in the film. I think Sting's in it, Flea, obviously Rob Trujillo, most of Jaco's family. Like when you get to the age of like nearly 26, you think whoever's going to influence me, it's probably happened already. Yeah. And then you come across a musician like this and it's just completely like, do you know what I mean? It's so inspiring. I don't know if I've ever listened to a musician who's inspired me so much in such a short space of time.
So
For like 2 weeks.
before you went to the bass festival thing, had you heard of Jaco Pastorius?
Yeah, and I just not really ever checked him out.
Not properly,
So-
and then you watched that and you were like, ooh.
I guess because of the fact that the film was made by a member of Metallica, who are a
Yeah.
massive fan for me, that made me check it out.
I've heard of
So I was like,
Metallica.
yeah, I think I'm expecting
band.
big things from him.
Jaco's kind of the go-to person for bass players at 2 in the morning when everyone's really drunk to be like, man, just look at this, just watch this.
And you just go, oh,
and everyone just is like,
Yeah.
whoa, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's fantastic, and all the Weather Report stuff as well. Actually, by the looks of all the stuff on here, it's a really good mixture of kind of the bigger stuff and the Weather Report stuff, and then kind of little odd bits.
Some of the stuff he did with Joni Mitchell
Yeah.
is like so genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, this song just makes me think of Superbad, gotta be honest.
I've been had my eyes on you for a while. Girl, it's something about your act, and I sure do like your style.
My band is Killswitch Engage with their brand new album, Incarnate. Right, that's right, bitches, I picked the metal this week.
Yeah.
Yeah! Killswitch are back again, basically.
Yeah.
Everyone who was a fan of the band knows about their changing lead singer, going back to Jesse.
Yeah.
This is the second album they've released with Jesse, and the other one kind of went past without me really recognising it.
Wasn't
I listened
very
to
good.
it once and I was kind of like,
It wasn't that great.
Actually, only first listened to this morning, and I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then on the car on the way here is my second full listen through, and it's just absolutely
It's
belting.
fucking sick,
Yeah.
mate.
Just like, I'm doing Liam noises.
That's a good sign.
Killswitch probably did the lead singer change at the right time for me as well, because they've gone a bit.
Perhaps, yeah.
What's the word for water where it doesn't move?
Still.
Stagnant. Yeah.
Yeah.
You knew exactly what the metaphor was.
Yeah.
Not
You
the
defined
way
it.
No.
Yeah.
So well.
Yeah. So Killswitch had gone a bit stagnant with me. They haven't released much good stuff for a while, really. It was probably the right time for Jesse to come back. I watched him at Download the year you were there as well, weren't you?
Fuck, they were great.
Yeah, on the second stage, really late in the afternoon. The fact they had Jesse back, people were absolutely buzzing. It was the biggest crowd I've ever seen on that second stage at Download.
Yeah.
It was Ramo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I saw him a couple of years later at Download on the main stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
So
they were
good.
just before Metallica, weren't
Yeah,
they?
we had
saw
to
them
leave
play.
slightly early.
A lot
to
of
get
people
a
were
good place
leaving
for
just
Metallica.
before their the end
Yeah.
of their set, but you could tell that a lot of the Metallica fans were also like Killswitch
Major
fans.
Yeah.
So it was Ramo.
Slowly moving further away, like hovering between the two stages almost.
Yeah.
Just desperate.
Sort of like, this is so good, but I'm
Yeah.
sort of leaving.
Oh.
But I genuinely think that Jesse from Killswitch is one of the best metal singers of all
He's-
time. It's not just the fact that his singing tone and his screaming tone is amazing. Metal singing before Jesse and after Jesse was just completely different. Loads of people say, oh no, do you know what, I preferred Howard Jones, but I genuinely don't think Howard Jones would have had his vocal style if it wasn't for Jesse. He influenced everyone.
Yeah.
It's almost become generic, the Killswitch sound, and it's still got
Yeah, I
that, but
know.
actually it's unique and much better than anything
They do-
else coming out of that
They
style
do.
for me.
It is a generic sound, but they do
Yeah.
it better than any
Yeah,
band
that makes a
ever.
difference.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they'd almost become.
Which they hadn't been doing that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing. Their last two albums, they almost became too formulaic to a sound that they had made. It was like they were trying to be
The best
Killswitch.
Killswitch they could be.
Yeah.
yeah, but now they've just gone back to just doing
What they want.
what they
Yeah.
want.
Andy,
He's got a very high, he's the funniest guy
He's
on
so
stage.
funny.
Your brain will be barraged with X until it explodes. And then I'll crush your bones into toothpaste. The only shitty thing is, it will be called Pussy Crest with whitening. And the only flavor will be fucking minty tears. And your breath will smell like a pussy for weeks.
Smashing.
Yes. lovely.
Smashing.
Smashing.
Dude,
My
that-
pick this week was you guessed what I was going to pick, didn't you?
Yeah, in the car on the way here, I was like, I reckon Liam will choose one of two things.
And
straight
one of
up.
them was, and the only
Yeah.
reason I didn't pick the other one was because I didn't know they had an album out. Mine this week is Iggy Pop with his new album, Post Pop Depression.
The key to everything I crawl for someday when I don't have to move, caught up in dreams, untangled one day where I don't have to prove the days roll on and finally some.
So it was a kind of surprise release. He just kind of came out of nowhere and was like, yeah, I've recorded this new album. It's got Josh Homme on, I assume, guitars, Matt Helders from the Arctic Monkeys on drums. Iggy Pop's had an interesting career, obviously Stooges, some great stuff in the 80s and 90s, he had a couple of hits, David Bowie helped him out a lot. 90s and since then, it's kind of been an interesting one for him. He did like a comeback album, he did some stuff with ex-Guns N' Roses members, and it was all riffs and all big riffs, and I love big riffs, I love Iggy Pop, but Iggy Pop over big riffs just doesn't work. It just sounds like every other guitar, like every other vocalist. I think this is kind of perfect, the way it's got the real, it does sound a lot like, as you guys were saying,
Yeah.
like Queens of Stone
Yeah, it's
Age.
Queens of Stone
Yeah,
Age.
the
I
Josh,
love Queens of Stone Age.
the Josh Homme vibe is all over this.
It is.
I really hear a lot of Arctic Monkeys in there
The
too.
newer stuff, definitely. The newer Arctic Monkey stuff does kind of remind me of like an English version of the Queens of Stone Age. I think that's what they're going for.
It's actually also not too far off the last. I said vocally it's very similar, but the last David Bowie.
You're right.
album,
Yeah, you're right.
Stuff.
But I've seen him live as well. Saw him.
Just goes off, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, he's just insane. He's an insane man. And I love the Stooges.
His body, like, there is no other person in the world who has a body like Iggy
No,
Pop.
he doesn't. He has so much
I think
excess
he's got
skin.
so much.
As I say, he's done some weird stuff, but I think it's a massive return to form, and it looks like it's probably going to be his last one.
He's well into his 70s,
Oh,
isn't
yeah,
he?
he's an old
and yet
guy.
when you see him live, he's still sprinting
He's
about the stage like a
flying
madman.
about, yeah.
Definitely checking this out properly though, because if Josh Homme's on it,
Yeah.
Imagine, like, getting to that point of being a musician where you can just be like, alright, I'm going to do Eagles Death Metal. I'm going to do Queens. Oh, then I'm going to do something all Grohl. Oh, I'll just go over to Iggy Pop.
Eagles of Death Metal obviously produced did a really good track last year.
Really good album.
Yeah, and this album sounds
Yes.
great. Queens of Stone Age last album was
Oh,
a fucking masterpiece.
mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And all these things that Josh Homme does just like make me so fucking wet with excitement
Yeah.
for the next Queens of Stone Age album.
yeah.
Well, there we go. So, great album. I think really good return to form.
I've really liked your picks this week, guys.
So, guys, it's time for Naughty Little Gene, isn't it?
Fuck yeah!
Choon. It's a tune. It's a tune. I say a tune. I say in the tune. I say out the tune. I say a tune. I say a tune. I say
When he does this, like, what happens?
Oh, now that, my friend, is a naughty little tune.
I'm not doing it for him.
Tune.
So we had lots and lots of options for Naughty Little
Lots
Gene.
of shit to pick from.
There's a lot of good albums coming out very, very soon, and they're all starting to release singles. Doom User by Deftones, which is an absolute jam, but because we're probably all going to talk about Deftones when that comes out, we decided not to go with that yet.
Hold off.
Yeah. Then we also had a brand new Band of Skull song, which I really like. These guys weren't as keen, so we kept that.
Underwhelmed.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Oh, I hate you guys for it. It's really
Some
good.
cracking guitarist, but the actual like vocal
Song.
line, actual song was just poo.
We also had a brand new Weezer song, which I love as well. I think it's
That's nice.
it's a really
That's
nice
just
song.
right.
Yeah.
But that's classic Weezer.
But what we ended up going for was Architects and their song. Liam, help me out with the song because I don't want to break eye contact with the camera.
A match made in heaven.
Match made in heaven.
Hey.
Tell me, was it a weapon to watch your kingdom grow? While the anchors in the ocean haven't struck the slow.
So Architects are back. They kept this quite secret again. Actually, they were one of those bands that were like, "Oh, we're not really doing anything," and then they've been in Norway or somewhere, releasing a really brutal album. Yeah, I said before the show to the guys, I was really ready for Architects to kind of soften up and do a really melodic piece of music. I would have been cool with that, but like at the same time, what they've done is even better. Just straight in your face, brutal, heavy.
I
Hard
think
as
their
nails, motherfucking brick in your face, stones in your eyes.
They conned you.
They're a band on form again, though, aren't they? Because their last album was phenomenal.
They've
as
won,
well.
yeah, they won me over again with the last album. There was absolutely no pretension there at all to try and be
No.
anything other than just heavy. It was a filth album.
Yeah. I have a really good Architects of Ren Festival memory actually, where they were opening main stage, I believe, or like second maybe. It had rained and fucking rained. Just mud everywhere, like tents underwater. That kind of. It was one of those
Like
years.
Glasto type
Yeah, it
vibe.
was one of those just horrible years. First song, 30 seconds in, psychopath. Open up a wall of death. It was
Didn't it
something like
stop
that.
raining as well?
It stopped raining. It was like it was
I love
just
stuff like that.
massive pit, just straight up. First thing Friday morning, Ronan Festival. They don't make Ronan festivals like that anymore.
I don't care what anyone says. You can't go wrong with a really heavy band first
boom,
thing.
wake
first
you up,
thing.
wake everyone up.
Yeah, you need it. I think.
Gross.
Subscribe button this week is Liam's cowboy boot.
There we go. Click
Which
the
is-
subscribe button right here. Peace.
Excellent. Right. Sorry, I forgot we were doing the show. Right, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already.
Please share with your friends. Please.
Yes.
Come on, we'll do a subscriber drive. Please, because you'll share.
Subscriber drive.
Did you want to make that up?
Yep.
Yeah,
The
very well.
official Big Gruesome subscriber drive.
Bye.
Big fish, little fish, come on, what's big fish, little